Businesses need capital to grow. Most business owners look to local banks to get their funding, but a lot of the time this doesn't work. Banks have guidelines and strategies in place to help them operate more efficiently. But these strategies and guidelines tend to only make the process harder for business owners to secure the funding that they need. A good commercial lending specialist can help business owners find alternative solutions to local bank lending. In Deal Talk, we work through real-life funding scenarios, loan solutions, and positive results that have helped American businesses flourish. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of Deal Talk. I'm Terry Luker with Commercial Capital BIDCO and Alternative Capital Solutions. And today I want to talk to you about how important it is to network, how important it is to follow up, and how important it is to work every single deal. As I like to used to say in baseball, hey, when you hit a ground ball, you got to run out every ground ball. So I want to go back and I want to talk to you about when we first started our company. One of the very first meetings I had in our company is I went over into Kentucky. I live here in the Nashville area, and so Kentucky is a big market for our company. Went over into Kentucky, and I had a meeting with the Kentucky Bankers Bank. Now, a bankers bank is a bank for the banks. What that means is that they'll submit deals into the bankers bank that they want other banks to participate with them. And you say, well, what does all that mean? Well, a bank may have a loan that's for, let's say, $10 million, but the maximum amount of money they can loan is $5 million. Well, what a bankers bank does is it acts like a hub for those banks to send those deals in to say, hey, I need a partner in this deal to help me fund it. So that's kind of a generalization of what a bankers bank is. There's a lot of states that have them. There are some states that don't have them, but a lot of states do have bankers banks. And so it's kind of neat. You could look that up. So after meeting with the bankers bank, I thought that the meeting went okay. Didn't know if I would get any business from them or anything like that. And about 2 weeks later, there was a gentleman that called me from a bank over in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And he said, hey, I know that you met with the Kentucky Bankers Bank, and they said you may be able to help us with the deal that we have. And I said, okay, well, tell me a little bit about the deal. And he says, well, it's a 72-unit apartment complex, and it performs okay, but the borrower pays us on the 28th day of the cycle every single month. He just rides us, so he's always late, and it's one of the larger loans in our bank. He actually said it was the largest loan in his bank. And so it's on everybody's radar. It always causes a problem in the bank because he never pays us on time. He just won't pay us on time. And I said, okay, well, if you can get the client to work with me, I believe that I can help them. I can take it off of your books and potentially refinance it and put it in what we call a commercial mortgage-backed securities, a CMBS loan. And so the banker, the president of the bank, introduced me to the client. I sat down with the client. I told him what I would need. And then there was a pause for a few weeks. And I'd follow up with the client. I'd get his voicemail or whatever. And finally, I did get a hold of the client. And I said, hey, what's going on? You know the documents that I need to help you get your loan redone. And he goes, yeah, my bookkeeping is just not like that. And so what we discovered is that we had to go back and we had to help this client restructure all of his books for his income coming in and all the expenses and all that. So on a deal that should have taken us about 2 months to get it closed, it took us 6 months because of his accounting. His accounting was just in shambles. And so we had to basically, repair his accounting books for him before we could do anything else. Ended up what happened is this. We got the deal completely underwritten. We got it submitted over to one of our trusted lending partners, a Wall Street lender. The bank had asked me to make sure that when we refinanced the deal, we didn't keep it in their market because they did like the client. They would like to keep some of the depository relationship with him. And so what we did is we took it to a Wall Street lender who helped us with the CMBS loan. And so here's what happened. You have a client that is paying the bank late every month. He's got a very good property. It appraised really well. We had good equity in it. We get ready to do the closing, and we find out that the client has $300,000 in past due property taxes. Now, I can tell you from my experience that if that deal was at a bank to fund and the bank discovered that, they're going to walk away because they're going to say, hey, if the guy can't pay his taxes, he's not going to pay us in a timely manner. And so they're not going to want to do the deal. with the CMBS loan, it's going into a securitization. They can put it into what's called a lockbox mode, where all the payments come in. It's controlled by the lender. The payment is then taken from the lender, so they get paid first, and then the balance of the payments goes to the borrower for him to run his operations and run his business. It's called a lockbox. So that's what we did. We set it up right away from that. We were able to pay off the $300,000 in past due taxes. We were able to pay off the bank and get that loan out of their bank, which made the bank and the president of the bank and all the investors of the bank very happy. And here's the kicker. We were able to get the borrower a lower interest rate. He got a non-recourse loan, so it wasn't a recourse loan like he had at the bank. So not only did we refinance his property, paid off and caught up all his past due taxes, but we lowered his payment as well. So that was a win-win and a heck of a solution. And here's how we got the deal. We called on the Bankers Bank. Instead of trying to reach out to every community bank in the state of Kentucky, we went to the Bankers Bank, who could then tell all their banks about us and how we can help them. And so that's what we're able to do. Here's a couple other neat things that happened. I built a relationship with the president of that bank because I was able to deliver for him what we said we could do. That if the client would work with us, we could take that deal and we could move it to a national lender, get it out of their market, and get it off their books. So that was great. The banker then sent me other deals because he trusted me. And then he also looked at deals for me that I needed funding on, and he actually funded a couple of deals for us. Here's another great thing to learn about this. The closing attorney for the client was a law firm in Bowling Green that did a lot of real estate business themselves. And big UK guy, big Kentucky fan, Kentucky grad, went to law school at Kentucky and all that. He said to me this. He said, hey, if you can get this guy done and all the problems he's had, I've got 5 or 6 more deals for you. You know what happened? We got those 5 or 6 more deals. We ended up doing quite a bit of real estate financing up there in the Bowling Green area simply because of the Bankers Bank in Kentucky calling this bank and saying, hey, call this guy. He can help you with that troubled deal you have. Then that banker saw that we delivered what we said we would do and gave us more business. The attorney for the client saw that we were able to deliver a very tough deal with a great solution that everybody won with, and sent us, I think it's a total of 6 more deals that we ended up funding up there in the Bowling Green community. So always be networking. You network to clients, you network to business owners, you network to banks, you network to attorneys, you network to CPAs, because you never know where a great deal is going to come from and how many more deals may come from just having one deal. Hey, that's Deal Talk for today. Love to see your questions or comments, so reach out to us. Talk to you soon. Have a great day.